let's discuss this inner nuclear membrane. Number 3. Yeah, inner nuclear membrane. So if you talk about the inner nuclear membrane, this inner nuclear membrane contains mostly nuclear proteins. It mostly contains nuclear proteins. For example, which kind of proteins? If we should know some proteins, the names of some proteins which are present here in the inner nuclear membrane. So these may be the laminin B receptor proteins, right? For example, laminin B receptor proteins, right? LB, laminin B receptor proteins, right? The next kind of proteins which are present there and attached to the inner nuclear membrane are the lamina associated polypeptides, lamina associated polypeptides, right? These are called the LAP, right? So there is LAP1 and LAP2. So lamina associated polypeptides, these are certain proteins which are related, which are in contact with the inner lamina, nuclear lamina, right? So lamina associated proteins are there. There are amyrin proteins, and then there are norrin proteins, neurin proteins, right? So both of them are proteins and they have certain important functions, right? So this is the structure of the inner nuclear membrane. It contains certain protein attachments to it. So I have shown it here. They contain certain proteins which may be laminin B receptor proteins. There may be lamina associated polypeptide proteins, right? Let's write here, right, like this. So lamina associated polypeptides, and then there are amyrin proteins and neurin proteins. They all are attached with the inner nuclear membrane, right? So like this. So this is the structure of the inner nuclear membrane. Now the remaining thing is the nuclear pores, right? So let us see the structure of the nuclear pores and the composition of this nuclear pore, right? Let's write here nuclear pores. For example, here is the outer nuclear membrane, inner nuclear membrane, and then here is other section, outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane, and in between them we have nuclear pores, right? So what is the size of this nuclear pore? So from here up to here, the diameter of this nuclear pore may be 800 angstrom, right? So from here up to here, let me write it here, the first point, the diameter, right, of this nuclear pore is, the total diameter may be 800 angstrom, right? Angstrom means 10 power minus 10, which is very small value, right? Then in this nuclear pore we have channels, we have protein channels, and those protein channels are used for the transport of ionic substances and small molecular weight substances, right? So if we draw the structure of that, there will be a cytoplasmic ring, yeah, right? There is a cytoplasmic ring like this. So this ring is made up of proteins, we know that. This is the cytoplasmic ring. Then there is an inner ring which is called the nuclear ring, right? This is the nuclear ring, right? And this nuclear ring is connected to another small ring, and this is called the nuclear basket, right? And this basket is connected with the inner nuclear ring with certain connecting proteins, right? Like this, right? So this is called nuclear basket, right? This is called the nuclear ring, right? And this is called the cytoplasmic ring, done. Then there is another ring, and that ring is called the intermediate ring, right? Yeah, that is called the intermediate ring. So here we have another small ring. This ring is also made up of special types of proteins, right? So this is the intermediate ring, in between the cytoplasmic and the nuclear ring there is the intermediate ring, and these rings are connected with each other, right? All these rings are connected with each other like this, right? So they make a whole. So I have drawn this part, right? This part has been removed, so I will draw it from above also, then we will see, right? So this is a ring of proteins here, and in between this ring there is a central transporter, right? There is a central transporter. So here is our central transporter, protein, right? It contains the central transporter. Here you can see the central hole that it has for the transport of materials inside and outside, right? So as I told you that this pore has a diameter of 800 angstrom, but the diameter of this central transporter ring is about 500 angstrom. So its diameter is about 500 angstrom, right? So what is this? This is central transporter, right? So it has central transporter, it has a cytoplasmic ring, it has nuclear ring, it has nuclear basket, right? And it has a central transporter, and it has intermediate ring. So this ring comes like this, right? So they make rings. So if we look at them from the above, that will look how? That will look like this. Let me draw it. Here is the ring, right? And this ring is totally present in the nuclear pores, right? This is the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane, right? And this is perimembranous space, right? So the diameter from here up to here, I had told you, is that 800 angstrom, right? And then there will be the intermediate ring, right? There will be the intermediate ring, and in the center there will be the central transporter, right? So this is our central transporter, and then there will be the connecting proteins like this all over, right? So the diameter from here up to here is how much? I told you 800 angstrom, and the diameter from here up to here is the 500 angstrom, right? How many, so this is called the nuclear pore, right? And these are the transporting materials, and these are the transporting proteins which are present in the nuclear pores. So there may be 1,000 nuclear pores, or there may be 10,000 nuclear pores in one nucleus, right? So this was, my dear friends, the structure of the nuclear membrane. I hope you like the lecture. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will discuss about the nucleolus inside the cell. What is nucleolus? Then we will see that, and the other structures, the DNA and everything, we will discuss inshallah in detail. So see you in the next lecture. If you like the lecture, please hit the like button and share these videos with your friends also. Thank you so much.